Alright, this is going to be my video showcasing Ray's Alchemist, which is a build I've been running recently. I think everyone kind of knows Grenadier is ridiculously overpowered. Probably one of the strongest classes in the game. But I have plenty of damage dealers, so I want to lean Ray more into a supportive role. So that's what I'm going to be showcasing here. So I'm going to do this with, it's going to be 3 characters. I'm not going to do the whole map, but I'll do a good chunk to kind of show off what Ray can do. It'll also be a good showcase of Misty's Saboteur playstyle as well. Alright, so one of the things you gotta really do is make sure you turn on your making chemical concoction. So we got that up and going. Turn on equivalent exchange. That's just so you can get some buffs as you're picking up kills. And we're gonna send Kylie home. Irene is gonna stay. Irene's one of the characters I have synergized with Ray. So I specifically like using the 2 of them together. So this will be a good showcase for them. We'll tell Giselle to leave. We're just running back and forth. We're just trying to get some stacks on making chemical concoction. So I'm going to pop this Jiao's Eye. Alright, we did actually just get Lux, so that's going to make this even better. We're going to go ahead and pop Trance on. We are under still stance. We got 9 stacks, so that's 180% damage increase. And yeah, look at that fucking monster damage right there. 6,000 fucking damage. So, we'll go fire that off. Now you'll see Ray's at 68 action time, so let's go ahead and send Irene in. One of the things you want to do is try to keep Ray within sight of Irene. So it will greatly help with getting Ray's turns back. Let's see, Misty. Move her over this way. Basically what Misty's doing here is we're picking off certain enemies to make sure that the whole map doesn't aggro at any given point. So that way Ray and Irene can just keep taking on nice small packs of enemies. And with Ray, again, you want to keep her moving, keep her close. We got pretty good block shred. Accuracy doesn't seem like it's great. So what's going on with the hit chance here? Oh, high cover, ambush. Okay, so that's why. Alright, go ahead and zoom out. And one of the things with this build is we're going to get Trance back really damn quick. So you can actually go a little wild with Spray Rain if you want to. A lot of times you're going to be just doing the spray shot because you get that nice crit bonus and crit damage that we really need on Ray. But we want to make sure this guy dies. So we'll pop him. Alright, so that's 2 sniper towers cleared.
네가 너무 약한 거야.
So at this point, the entire right half of the map is not really able to aggro. I will need to deal with Dalsu because he is going to eventually move his way over here.
악당들이여, 기다려라.
That's Irene's turn a little bit. I want to move Ray up.
Game over.
We're gonna pick off some of these enemies so that way we don't get aggro later on.
물론이지. 악당들이여, 기다려라. 잘 부탁해.
It's a little jank having to do this with Irene. Actually, I should have ran her back to Ray's side because Ray is actually running joint tactics. So if Irene ends her turn next to Ray, it will actually give Ray her turn back quicker. Let's see, let's go ahead and make sure we're staying in the bush. Do have the initiative here, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop these guys. Actually, let's do the ice. It's a bigger radius. Yeah, we can get those 3, and I think it'll still hit the Bicron that's there. So yeah, the one guy won't take enough damage to die, but that will clear most of them. I'll still kill 2 of them. So let's go ahead and pop them. Oh, didn't kill anybody. One of those weird cases. Sometimes the tooltip seems to lie.
승부는 초반 위치 선점이지. 원하는 가지지
So
말자.
just doing her saboteur thing. Let's go ahead and pick off these guys that went for. We're getting a little too close to Ray for my comfort.
이것이 바로 정의의 힘이다. 이런 기회 놓치지 않아. 게임 오버.
So yeah, Irene's getting delay held, which does happen. So we're gonna move back, make sure we can still heal Irene.
맡겨줘.
Yeah, you can see we can heal for 1374, which is actually a pretty meaty heal, all things considered.
다들 모여.
Heal going.
이제 사라져 줄게. 승부는 초반 위치 선점이지. 놓치지 않아. 다음 목표는 누구로 할까? 히어로 아이린, 이날을 위해 수련했다. 제법이네. 너의 칼날은 나에게 닿지 않아. 용서하지
Smack
않겠다.
Thundercron real quick.
내가 너희들을 응징하겠다.
아직도 나랑 더 놀고 싶은 거야?
Use that so we can see where the hell everybody is. I think Dalsu has already moved from that spot. So Dalsu should be right there, so I'm going to move over here real quick. Yeah, we'll get our turn before Dalsu, so we'll go ahead and pick him off.
히어로 아이린, 정의를 위해 수련했다. 난 히어로라고.
Move those squares, get those out of the way. We should be able to, yeah, attack Thundercron again.
후회해도 이미 늦었어.
Get him to 1 HP. Ray will not trigger the attack though, sadly. Thundercron took care of Dalsu for us, alright. Not enough damage to kill Bicron.
승부는 초반 위치 선점이지.
Not close enough for the Ranger, so we're gonna move just a little bit.
잘 부탁해. 내가 히어로 아이린이다. 다음은 누구냐? 아하, 이제 내 차례야.
It's Ray's turn. We're going to pop Trance, because again, you want to activate Trance as much as you can.
하고 싶은 일이 많아.
Just go ahead and kick the can.
끝내야겠어.
And yeah, damage is pretty solid, and this is only with 3 chemical concoctions at the moment. So, yeah, it's pretty meaty damage.
난 하고 싶은 건 꼭 해낸다고. 후회할 일은 하지 마.
이런 기회 놓치지 않아. 원하는 가지지 말자. 후회해도 이미 늦었어. 이것이 바로 정의의 힘이다. 이제 사라져.
Fresh hide up. Let's go ahead and reposition as well.
승부는
So we're just going to lower our cooldowns because we're just going to kill this dude. There we go.
다음 목표는 누구로 할까? 악당들이여 기다려라.
And we're just going to jump on this Bicron here.
널 위한
There we go.
심판.
So far, we have yet to seriously be detected. So,
난
we're going to run
히어로라고.
back and get some turns for Ray if possible.
악당들이여 기다려라.
And just going to get a ton of turns because that's just what she does.
다들 준비됐어? 오케이.
So yeah, with your range characters, like if you got like Anne or Giselle, you want them to end their turn kind of center around Ray as much as possible. Allow Ray to get her turns back quicker because of the joint tactics. And then as your front lines are running away, she also has chasing the herd. So as your frontliners go in, she should actually be getting her turn quicker as well.
잘 부탁해. 악당들이여
Try to end
기다려라.
turn. There we go. Joint tactics.
너무 억울해하지 마. 네가 너무 약한 거야.
알았어.
Let Ray move up. Oh, we got some dudes down here. Alright, let's yeah, we got some stacks and damage for this. Let's do it.
내가 못 맞출 줄 알고? 지금 항복하면 용서해줄게.
So we got another Bicron here.
물론이지. 다음 목표는 누구로 할까?
We have the stacks and damage. As long as we don't get blocked. Oh yeah, let's go for it. Overcharge is gonna end anyways. There we go. Alright.
지금이라도 도망가.
Go ahead and continue the mission. Alright, so Ray's got some action time, so we're just gonna keep ending turn next to her, just get her turn back up a little quicker.
승부는 초반 위치 선점이지. 이제 사라져 줄게. 이런 기회 놓치지 않아. 원한은 가지지 말자. 숨어도 소용없어. 나쁜 녀석들은 태워주마.
그래, 내가 갈게.
Because we get two turns, or two cooldown every time we kill, you actually get that trance up real quick. Pretty much every time you kill, your spray shot comes back up as well. So you can basically spray shot every turn as long as you're killing something, which is pretty nuts in itself.
시작해볼까? 지긋지긋한 순간을 끝낼 시간이야.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and end this dude. Get some cooldowns back.
지겨우니 다음 때 덤비지 그래?
And I could move and attack, but then I won't be able to read. I'm not going to be able to do the shadow technique. Actually, what I could do, yeah, I can just move.
이쪽이야.
And so this will give me a 6-turn hide.
Bye bye.
Or sorry, 4-turn, because I'm not using the right mastery board. My other mastery board gives me 6 turns. This one only gives me 4. Yep. And turns next to Ray. So we can speed Ray up. Alright, so it's Ray's turn again. We're just gonna go ahead and move up.
맡겨줘.
And we're gonna go ahead and throw out a heal, because we got another turn before overcharge, and I just want a nice heal going. So that way I don't have to worry about Irene so much. Boom! 1500 heal. Very nice. I'll teleport over here. I should be able to reach the Micron. Yep. Alright. Excellent.
네가 너무 약한 거야.
I'm gonna get that last flame cron here with these with this trio here, and I'll stop the demo there. So move Irene up, and actually let's end the turn on Ray. So we're just gonna abuse joint tactics. And one of the dirty things to do with Misty here is getting up on top of like some of these boxes, because the enemies don't really move next to them. I don't want to attack from this position yet because I just moved. So pass. Let's go ahead and move over here.
그래, 내가 갈게.
This is a nice angle. We got luck again, so can't hit all 5, but I can at least get 4 and half of way.
내가 못 맞출 줄 알고?
Alright, so we just pissed off a ton of enemies now. Not much you can do once you get to this part of the camp. This is just a big area with a ton of dudes. If I'm really, like, if I allow enough time for Misty, I could potentially thin it out, but we'll be fine. We're gonna go ahead and start the retreat. So we got 100 action time, and let's make it count. So Misty go up here. She's nice and hidden still.
모든 공략은 약점부터 시작하는 거지. 숨어도 소용없어. 악당 물리쳤다. 정의는 물러설 수 없다. 후회해도 이미 늦었어.
난 가고 싶어. 꼭 해낸다고.
Ray chipping in.
지금이라도 도망가.
히어로 아이린, 이날을 위해 수련했다.
I can heal from here, so we'll move over here. Let's throw out a heal.
다들 모여.
Also get some of that fire out of there.
이제 사라져 줄게. 언제든지.
There's a thought, and there's the rest of the map being aggroed. Fortunately for them, it's too late because we're getting out of here.
물론이지.
Breakthrough dunk this guy.
내가 너희들을
1 HP, Ray chips in, and no berserk.
정의를 위해. 내 스타일 최종 우위 흉폭한 데싸. 히어로는 패배하지 않는다.
That's too high up that this dude doesn't even reveal Misty when he's right next. That's why the boxes are ridiculously abusable for Misty. Because when dropping a box, dude, like they can't do anything to stop you.
가지지 말자.
By keeping Ray nice and far back with her range on spray shot, you don't really use her basic attack too much. Yeah, because we almost exclusively use her her spray shot. So it's spray shot, healing mist, spray shot, healing mist. And as long as you're doing everything right and looking for the right targets with spray shot, as long as you can kill someone each turn, you can basically keep that rhythm going the whole time. So pop trance.
잠시 기다려줄래?
And sometimes, if you want, if you're feeling feisty, go ahead and drop a spray rain on somebody.
내 미래는 내가 팽척해.
숨어도 소용없어. 다음은 누구냐?
And I cannot tell which squares are on fire. I guess mousing over them tells me technically. Guess that square's safe.
승부는 초반 위치 선점이지. 이런 기회를 놓치지 않아. 인적인 원한은 없어.
That should conclude the run. So yeah, the setup's pretty awesome. Hopefully with the expanded mastery slots, this build can be made a little better, and I'll kind of showcase it a little. So let's go ahead and back out, and let's talk about the mastery and the gear setup. Just waiting for that loading. Alright, so this is the gear setup. This is an ESP ray, so it's a lot of people will go for the attack power, and I honestly don't blame them. Main thing is that spray shoot, it is physical damage, but it does equally scale off attack power and ESP power. So taking an ESP weapon is not a huge detriment. You do get a little more speed running the attack power, but you lose out on healing power. and it's a pretty significant difference. The Heal Mist has fairly low scaling with attack power, but it has 100% scaling with ESP power. And since we're mostly trying to actually be a second healer, we actually want that healing power. The regeneration's good, and of course on White Mage also applies regeneration. So applying regeneration alone doesn't really keep you on par with Anne. So we do need some actual meaty heals. So that's why we do aim for ESP power with the setup. So for that, we do recommend that you run the gas spray. It is currently the highest ESP power spray in the game at the moment. It is a little... they did finally fix it, so now it is actually properly poisoned. It was doing ice damage before, which was really weird. But it is fixed now, which is cool. We don't want the shake it because we don't want to actually create gas cloud or poison clouds. We can trigger poison on the basic throw, but again, mostly what you're going to be doing is spray rain, healing mist, and that's about it. Honestly, you're really going to be alternating between the two, and then sometimes throwing in the trance for you know, some kick power. So let's go over this, and then the rest of the gear, I did go with Ben's suit just for some block chance and extra HP. This does make her a bit more meaty. This build can be altered slightly in order to have 100% block, but it does lose quite a bit of its offensive power. And you do want to actually be able to get kills so that way you can get your healing mist back up. Because the way it works right now, so on your turn, if you use healing mist, its cooldown will be 4 after you cast it. I know it says 3 cooldown there, but I'm talking about on turn, so it will technically be 4. Your turn ends, it's now 3. Your next turn starts, your healing mist is on cooldown, you're going to use spray rain, or spray shot, or yeah, you can always do spray rain too. But you're going to try to kill something, and then if you kill something, your cooldown's actually going to go down by 2, bringing it to 1, and then your turn ends, and that's the extra 1 ending. So then your turn after you kill, you're able to heal again. So basically every other turn you are able to heal. So you're going to be killing at least one enemy each turn, and then healing your party on the next turn. So the big thing then is, how can we get turns as quickly as possible? So we want to aim for high speed values on all our gear. Cleaning agents, boots, you just want that speed. The move distance is also nice, having 2 move distance on the boots. Aim for an offensive roll. You do need some offensive stats still. We are rocking 68 crit chance, and we do get that extra 25 on the spray shot. So you're almost at 100 right there, which is really good. And as long as an enemy's exposed and doesn't have keen sense, you basically have 100% crit chance. And then your accessory slot. Inevitability is really good because it gives you block, dodge, hit, crit, and speed. And you pretty much want all these stat-wise, and also just gives you a ton of HP. I do not recommend the wrist guards currently. They have some stats that are, you know, appear to be decent, but they really lack on offensive power, and you need that offensive power, and having the higher base HP also generally will mean you're a little more survivable if a stray shot does come your way. Alternatives for the oops, I just accidentally unequipped that. Let's see. Ability. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Let's put that back on. Alternatives for the chest piece. If you're willing to forego some of your block chance, you could run, I believe it's Hansen's will give you a higher crit chance, which is of course always nice. It does also give you higher base vigor, and does give you crit damage, which is one of the things that Rey actually really lacks. So if you are able to position her very well and you're not too worried about getting hit with stray attacks, the Hansen's jacket is better offensively. If you are having trouble with Vigor, then Sanson's jacket is a good option, as it does give you that extra Vigor recovery. It also does give you extra move distance, which can help. And also, just like Hansen's, has a decent Vigor bonus on it as well. But is honestly probably the weaker of the three options, so I would say offensively Hansen's, and then defensively go for Ben's suit jacket. Just depends on how comfortable you are with the build. Individual masteries, definitely go for Graffiti. Being able to strip a ton of buffs off enemies is never a bad thing. And the other two don't really help you too much. Dispelling mental debuffs is okay, but you shouldn't be getting hit with too many debuffs to begin with. And then you already have a means of removing buffs from yourself in the masteries, specifically from Bookworm, that removes all debuffs on you at the start of your turn. So you don't really have to worry about debuffs anyways because of your mastery set. And then the expansion pack, I mean, you only have 3 uses of the healing spray anyways, and honestly, you're going to be doing enough healing mist. You always have the option to do healing spray, and because of the gas spray, the healing spray does only cost 1 action, so technically you can run in and then hit an ally with a healing spray if you really need to heal someone up. Alternatively, you can switch the healing spray for Vigor or Awakening, depending on how you want to support your party. If you have range characters like Giselle or Anne, Anne shouldn't have this problem with Vigor, but Giselle can definitely have Vigor problems. Hazing can have Vigor problems. So having Vigor spray and being able to recover someone's Vigor to full is also really helpful. So consider that an option as well. I just take healing spray because, again, I'm more focused on healing. So if I throw out a healing mist and then somebody gets rocked, I at least have an option to go in and heal with the healing spray. So that's why I go with that option. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the mastery setup. So, a couple things we're aiming for here. I did want to fit in Penetrate the Sky really badly, so main reason is because of the block shred. We want to make sure that we are able to kill, and we want to kill consistently. The block shred should mean that you have enough block shred to take out relatively low block targets with pretty high consistency. And then anything with higher block, you'll have breakthrough to keep their block relatively low. So that means you'll very consistently be able to get through block. Not 100%. This is not like a Grenadier build or a Spirit SP build, so you're definitely not going to be shredding like 100 plus block enemies down to 0. But you will have enough block shred again. Like you'll be able to pick off like the White Skull clowns. You'll be able to pick off snipers and stuff, and that's mainly the targets you're going to want to look for with Rey. So that's for our offensive side, is the block shred. Early bird, this is how we get the 2 action time recovery. Yeah, as long as we put a target out of action, decrease all abilities cooldowns by 1, which is the exact same effect as Catharsis, and they do stack. So that's why we get the 2 cooldown effect every time we kill. The other source of our damage is the Make Chemical Concoction. This gives you a 20% damage increase per stack. And with our current setup, you get 1 stack at the start of your turn. Not when you first cast it, but from as soon as your turn starts thereafter. You'll start getting 1 stack. You get an additional stack for moving. You also get attacks or stacks if you are attacked. And And then if you use an attack that's not a throwing ability, which would basically be the power kick, but we don't really run that setup, so don't do that. And then make chemical concoction, we get an additional stack from, or sorry, 2 additional stacks from Passion for Gold at the start of our turn. So you basically get 3 of those immediately each turn. And because realistically we only attack every other turn, you're going to have anywhere from 6 to 8 stacks, and that's going to be depending if you were moving on the previous turn. So ideally, you want to start your turn, gain 3, move to a good position that you can attack or heal from, depending on which turn you're on. Perform your attack or heal, let's say it's a heal for this time, and then on your next turn you'll gain 3 more stacks, so now you're at 7. Move to an attacking position and then attack. But ideally with Spray Rain you do want to actually attack from the still stance, because you do get extra 100% additional damage. So if you moved on your heal turn properly, you should have make use of the still stance on your attack turn. You should have 240% additional damage of the combination of Spray Shot and your Make Chemical Concoction, and then you're also getting like an extra 3% from throwing high, and then more 3%, so basically 6% per distance, and we have 13 distance, so you know that's another 60, 72, 78% at 13 range. So we're just getting a really high damage percent increase, which is what allows us to do so much damage. We are checking against armor instead of ESP, which is a little unfortunate, but Ice Mist is still decent. If you want to delay some enemy action time, you can throw out Ice Mist instead. And that is, of course, an option. The damage output from the Ice Mist can be about equal to Spray. It really depends on the enemy and the target. So definitely play around with that. You do have both options. Ice Mist, you can similarly, you can't do Ice Mist every single turn like the Spray Shot, but you can do it every other turn. Just like the Healing Mist, it does reduce its own cooldown by 2, so it's only 1 cooldown. Well, it's technically 2 after you attack, and then your turn ends, it's only 1. And then the next turn ends that 1, and so every other turn you can throw out Ice Mist. The downside of throwing out Ice Mist, though, is if your party's in the Ice Mist effect, you're going to be eating that Frostbite effect and having your speed and move distance lowered. If Dandelion is going to make us switch over to the Mungo gear, the Mungo gear does make you immune to ice effects, so maybe that will be something we have to do. But I would stick with Spray Shot mostly, but you do have the Ice Mist in your kit because you do get that 4th slot anyways, so it's always an option. I probably don't really recommend Acidic Mist. It is nice for the damage taken increase being applied to enemies, especially if you're trying to help your team do damage, but the HP recovering from items and abilities can backfire on you, because if your allies are affected by the Acidic Mist, they also take increased damage and they don't get healed as much, which I think is a little more detrimental to your own party. So I would recommend against slotting that one. And then for turns, we want to use Sakuchi. This gives us increased speed and move distance. We're already slotting a good chunk of this with lightning reflexes, bounding stride. We want the move distance as well. Run helps with the action time because we do want to move on our turn. That'll lower our action time. It would be really nice if we could fit in, there's a certain mastery. Unfortunately, this is where the extra slot that will come in later on may help. is we are not able to run the Mastery Skillful Support. And the main reason we want to run that is because it reduces the action time of our heals. So instead of 30 action time, it'd be 15, which saves us a ton. I did have this in a separate build, but it did struggle with offensive output, and I was really worried about that. So I had to make a sacrifice, and we want to make sure that we are getting those cooldowns, otherwise we are not healing as frequently as we could be. So I did make the choice to switch out Skillful Support. I would love to fit it in if we do somehow get another ability slot, or the extra slot allows me to rearrange this a bit more to take up different slots. I might be able to squeeze it in with a different human mastery instead of running Egoist, maybe Social Life. Yeah, ideally this would be the one to fit in. It does sacrifice 4 skill slots though. So maybe we'll have to see. Then other than that, it's not really much else to explain. Oh yeah, action time. So there's 2 main ways that we are getting our action time down. A, we should be at full health all the time, so we should be taking advantage of best condition. If you want to slot in quick grasp of the situation, in case you are able to see enemies and see them attacking your team, you could run this to get your action time down. You will have to take out willpower to do it, but that is an option. Lower your healing, but it could get your turns up quicker, which may actually be more beneficial. And then the other 2 ways that we're doing it is chasing a herd, so as our party moves out of our vision, we get our action time lowered. And then the long range party members that end their turn next to us will also lower our action time. And if you're using that speed sniper Giselle I have, then basically just plant her next to Ray, let her do her thing, and she'll give Ray her turn. And the whole time she'll be picking enemies off for you. So, and then Ray can pick off whatever she can find left after that. So that's the build. I do enjoy it. I do like having another support. I do prefer my team to not be all damage dealers. So I do like making the switch. I do like having a more utility character in the team, so that way I can more effectively break my team into 2 parties that can go to separate directions. Like on that 50V, I could have one party go straight for the Destrons while the other team works up the side and heads to the north camp. So that's how I want to do it. And then more advanced strategies would break it into 4 parties, and that requires Misty also being a healer, so that way I have 3 healers to cover 3 different parties that are running all over the place. But I think 2 parties is a little safer, so I'm sticking with that. And yeah, Ray just does really good as long as you keep people near her and keep her in range of your tanks. She'll actually put out some pretty good damage and some pretty good heals. So I do like this build. Thanks for watching.